what's up you guys? It's Haley. Welcome back to another episode of my weekly thrift hauls. Disclaimer, there is construction going on right outside my window, so hopefully you won't be able to hear the background noise, but I'm gonna talk a little extra loudly just in case. So if you watched last week's video, you know that I did a bunch of slightly more expensive secondhand shopping for my 24th birthday. I went to a few stores in LA when I was there a few weeks ago. I checked out some places here in New York, and then I also shopped a little bit on Depop. Once you're finished watching this video, go watch part 1 if you haven't already. I'm gonna have it linked down below and it'll probably be the next one in the playlist. So as usual, I'm gonna be talking about each of the individual pieces and also styling them in outfits for you guys. First up, I have a few things that I picked up off of Depop. If you don't know already, Depop is a reselling app, kind of like Poshmark, but a little more trendy and focused on Gen Z. I honestly feel like sometimes I'm at the upper age range of the ideal Depop customer, but oh well. I also resell on Depop, so if you haven't followed me on there already, it's just Haley in the Details, like this channel name. One thing that I love about Depop over other reselling platforms is that it feels like you can create a bit more of a curated brand on there. Since the platform looks a lot like Instagram, the photos of the pieces are kind of the focal point. So I like to follow a bunch of users and stores that have really creative and interesting pages. One of the ones I've been following for a while is 33VTG, 33 Vintage. They have kind of a 90s gothic aesthetic, but even so, I was able to find a lot of pieces on there that I feel like worked for me. The first that I'm gonna show you is this amazing polka dot puff sleeve blouse that I believe is from the 80s. This is certainly hitting several of the spring 2020 trends. It's got that sort of Victorian ruffle collar, it's got the puff sleeves, it's got the polka dot pattern, and then if you look closely at the collar, it has this one button that's made of pearl. It reminds me a lot of this brand that I don't know how to pronounce, but I've been getting ads for them all over Instagram and Facebook. They just do these really exaggerated puff sleeves that feel very contemporary to me. But anyway, as when styling any puff sleeve top, any top that's a little bit oversized, I wanted to go with something that would really cinch me in at the waist. So I threw on these vintage 1970s Levi jeans that I got from Awoke Vintage here in New York. I showed these in a recent video. I am doing a little bit of decade clashing in this outfit, which is why it felt really contemporary to me. Obviously, these super cinched pants with wide legs have been really popular throughout the last season and into this season as well. To finish off the look, I threw on my white patent leather Mista boots that definitely remind me of the 1960s, just to tie in the white from the polka dots and throw in another decade. Next up, I bought 2 pairs of jeans from 33 Vintage. Thrifting vintage jeans that fit really well can always be a struggle. So like I said in the last video, I highly recommend knowing your measurements and then using those measurements to find a pair of jeans that's gonna fit you really well, especially if you're shopping online. Now, unfortunately, even if you know your sizes, sometimes things won't fit as you expect them to. I wouldn't say that's necessarily the case with the jeans that I'm about to show you, but take a look for yourself. First, I have these amazing pastel floral 80s jeans. These do fit my waist and hip like a glove, but they're slightly lower rise than I was expecting them to be. They're also a little bit more of a skinny jean and less of a mom jean, but they're not so tight that they felt dated to me. To style this outfit, I put on this super tight white turtleneck that I just bought from Los Angeles Apparel. They are a small batch, sustainable, ethical company based in LA. And if you're thinking that their branding looks a lot like American Apparel, that's because it is American Apparel. After American Apparel went bankrupt, some of the people from that company wanted to recreate a sustainable, made in the USA brand, which is what American Apparel was supposed to be originally. Unfortunately, this top is a little bit tight and a little bit see-through. I got a size small. I'm usually between an extra small and a small, but I should have remembered from when I used to buy from American Apparel when I was like 16 that everything runs very small. So I would definitely recommend sizing up if you're gonna order something from them. To cover the fact that you can definitely see my bra through my shirt, I put on my white 1980s leather jacket that I got from Depop a while ago. I'm really happy that I have a simple white top to wear with it. To tie in the white on the bottom, I put on my white Ferragamo pumps that I thrifted at Goodwill. The last thing that I picked up from 33 Vintage was this pair of light wash Levi's jeans. I have been in the market for a pair of light wash Levi's that fit me really well for a long time, but the classic 501 style that most people wear is very boxy and straight cut, so it doesn't work for people like me who have a small waist and big hips. When I saw the measurements of these pants, I knew that they were gonna be a little bit big on me, but I thought that at least they would have that curvier shape so they would look flattering, oversized, or with a belt. They are a tad bit bigger than I anticipated though, and they do kind of sit straight up and down when I don't have a belt on. So I'm probably either going to resize these by taking them to a tailor or resell them on my Depop. To cinch them, I just put on my favorite gold buckle 1980s belt that I got at Beacon's Closet a while ago, and I matched that black croc leather to the black croc leather Stuart Weitzman boots. These I thrifted at Housing Works a while ago as well, and they've definitely been my favorite thrift find for the last year. I could have gone with a darker top for this look, but because I wanted to brighten it up a little bit and do a little bit of spring styling, I put on this top that was originally from Zara, but I thrifted at Buffalo Exchange while I was in LA. Once again, this outfit is certainly channeling the 1980s, but it's also bringing in the plaid trend that's predicted for the rest of 2020, and of course, the huge puff sleeves. Next up is an item that you guys are probably sick of seeing by now.
Hi.
That's my boyfriend, Sam. And that's another 1980s vintage jumpsuit. I'll link the name of the seller down below if you guys want to check out what else she's selling. I ended up liking this jumpsuit, but it's not exactly what I imagined it would be. It's made out of this jersey material, so it almost feels like sweatpants, which does make it very comfy, but it can make it cling in kind of weird ways. That's why I decided to cinch it in even tighter with that same belt I showed you guys in the last outfit. What I do like about this jumpsuit though is that of course it has shoulder pads and then it's got this really amazing sweetheart neckline. These are not two separate pieces. This is actually just one jumpsuit. It's got this cream colored long sleeve portion and then it appears to have this black strapless jumpsuit almost layered on top of that. It has a very classy and elegant look from far away, but up close you can see that it's basically like a pajama onesie. I do think that wearing the belt helps dress it up a little bit, but the jumpsuit is a little more casual than I anticipated it would be. To lean into that more casual look though, I decided to pair it with my Doc Marten Jadon boots. This is another thing that I bought off of Depop from an independent seller, and while I have been wanting Jadons for a while, I was kind of waiting until I could find a secondhand pair so I could get them a little more affordably and obviously more sustainably. I also bought another pair of Doc Martens that I didn't style in this video, but you'll probably see them soon. So next up from another seller on Depop, I bought these amazing 1970s vintage bell-bottom elastic waist pants. They're just in this beautiful burnt orange color that I think is gonna be really popular for 2020. And once again, they're covering that plaid trend. It's always nice to have an elastic waist pair of pants because sometimes you don't want a constricting tight pair of pants around your waist, but you still want a pair of pants that's going to conform to your shape. Once again, I put on my white Los Angeles Apparel turtleneck, my white Mista boots, and then on top I have this dark wash denim, very 1970s looking Lee crop jacket that I got at Wasteland when I was in LA. It's really hard to find a crop jacket that's exactly the right length. I think this one is still a tad bit too long, but it's closer to the right length than any other cropped denim jacket that I've owned so far. I definitely like how structured it is. I think we're moving away from that more baggy 90s looking denim jacket and into a more structured denim jacket like this. So it does feel very contemporary to me. The last two outfits that I'm gonna show you guys are things that I picked up in person. The first one is this amazing Giorgio Armani blazer that I got when I was at Buffalo Exchange in LA. And like I've said before, Buffalo Exchange does occasionally get some really high quality vintage pieces like this one. I believe this is probably from the 80s or 90s, and Giorgio Armani would have retailed for a few $100s, but it was priced at $40, which I think is a great deal. The pants that I'm wearing with this outfit are another designer purchase that I actually got at that location of Buffalo Exchange last time I was in LA. They're this beautiful seafoam green, wide leg, 60s inspired pant by The Script. They were new with tags, said they were originally $348, but I got them for $20. So that's a pretty good deal if you ask me. I like that the pants and the blazer were similar enough in color and structure that they kind of give off this power suit vibe. And although it can be really hard to find a matching suit where both pieces fit you perfectly, you can also get that same trend by throwing on two things that are similar or identical in color, but not necessarily from the same brand or designer. Lastly, we are moving on to the most casual outfit of this whole lookbook and the most Gen Z. I recently had a bit of an existential crisis because I realized only 1% of my subscribers are in the age group 13 to 18. And while normally I wouldn't care about teenagers thinking that I'm cool, I do worry, since they are the majority of YouTube users. If I don't find a way to appeal to them, I am not going to grow that much. This outfit was also inspired by one of my favorite thrifting YouTubers, Alexa Sunshine83. She's actually older than me, but I think she's a little more hip with the kids than I am. So first up with this outfit, I have this amazing, super oversized sweater that I got at Awoke Vintage. I believe it's from the 80s or 90s, but anyway, it's just a mock turtleneck with these really beautiful colored hearts. It's one of the few wool sweaters that I haven't found too itchy to wear. And since it's a little bit oversized, I find that the best way to style it for me is to tie it up in the front. I didn't actually tie it in a knot because the fabric is too thick, so I took a black hair tie and wrapped it around the part that's bunched up in the front. I have the same Levi's and belt on from earlier. I do think that they become a little more flattering when there's nothing tucked into them. So then you can see the sort of paper bag effect that they get when you cinch them. This time I cuffed the jeans and put on my Jaden Doc Martens. And while this outfit is a little more casual than I would usually style for my channel or wear out, it's definitely something I can see wearing to hang out with some friends who are a little bit less concerned with dressing like they walked off of a runway. As I said, I do have a couple more things that I didn't include in this haul. I have a pair of pants that I had to take to the tailor because I busted the zipper the first time that I wore them, and I have another pair of Doc Martens. So I will just add those into my next haul, and we will be done with the birthday series. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to see more outfits that I'm styling and you want to keep up with me throughout the week, definitely go follow me on Instagram. My Instagram handle is HaleyWalker_. And again, if you want to buy any of the pieces that I mentioned selling or check out what other things from my wardrobe are going up there, follow me on Depop. It's just Haley in the Details. I hope you guys have an awesome week, and I will see you in the next one.